Okay, good morning, riders, and it is story day. So we're going to be taking our A Time I Was Brave story from the flow map to the paper. And we know we're going to want to start up here at our opening sentence. So what I like to do in class, we're going to circle that with green. You don't have to do this at home, but it kind of says green light, go. This is going to be our starting point. This is where our story is going to begin, and I'm going to copy that right from the flow map. All right, so in the spring of 2016, I had to be very brave on a trip to Ecuador. Okay, there we go. In the spring of 2016, I had to be very brave on a trip to Ecuador. I'm going to jump into my next section where I'm going to tell about the boat trip. I was with my daughter Gracie. It's in the Pacific Ocean, and we were going to get to go snorkeling. So the day started with an exciting, because I was exciting boat trip in the Pacific Ocean. We were ready. All right, my daughter Gracie and I were going to get to go snorkeling. Whoops. And I'm going to put a period. So for that area right there, I was able to get into 2 sentences. The day started with an exciting boat trip in the Pacific Ocean. My daughter Gracie and I were going to get to go snorkeling. So at this point, like, I'm starting to get a little nervous, but I'm also pretty excited because I really, really want to be able to get into that water and see those amazing fish and those coral reefs down below. Okay, so now I'm to the next section. Okay, I'm to part 2. This might be 2 or 3 sentences, guys, and it's okay. A lot of times everybody's asking, oh, how many sentences do I need to write? Oh, no, my hands. Your hands are going to be fine, guys. You're great writers and you've got great ideas. Just take it slow, reread, make sure it makes sense every time you're writing a sentence. All right, so now I'm to the part where I was scared. When I don't have enough space right here, it's going to be too squishy, so I'm going to go down to the next line. When we arrived at the snorkeling spot, I started to get nervous. And I'm gonna have to check my spelling on nervous. Okay. It was time for me to get into the water, okay? Nervous. It was time for me to get in the, I'm going to put ocean, into the ocean. Okay. I jumped in, and all the water And remember, the ocean is salt water, so this is salt water. And I might go ahead and put salt as an adjective in front of that. The salt water, all the salt water from the ocean, all the salt water went right up my nose. Well, that caused me to panic. Suddenly, I want to get an action word, okay? Suddenly, I began to panic. And it's not any fun to panic while you're in water. I knew I needed to get back into that boat. I knew I needed to get back into the boat. Okay, so up I went. So now I'm back into this boat. I'm watching everybody snorkel and be excited about being in the ocean with these amazing fish. Okay, so look at, guys, I got like 4 sentences out of that second part, hands still attached. When I arrived at the snorkeling spot, I started to get nervous. It was time for me to get in the ocean. I jumped in and all of the salt water went right up my nose. Suddenly, I began to panic. I knew I needed to get back into the boat. Okay. After a little while, another transition word that's showing passage of time. So as you're telling your story, you want to think about those transitional words that are going to begin your paragraphs. A little while later, suddenly, after that, next, at first, finally. So after a little while, because I had to get myself back together, I had to calm down and just kind of chill. So it was a little while. The instructor noticed I wasn't in the ocean. He convinced me to try again, but he would help. Big difference this time. Okay, so, and I'm following my map. I knew I could be brave. With help, I knew I could be brave. With his help, I knew I could be brave. Okay. This is taking me, now I'm on sentence 4. That's okay, guys. We used a floaty ring and he toured me around the coral reef. He used a floaty ring. I held on and was able to see amazing fish. Okay? I saw sea turtles, yellow tangs, and even a puffer fish. Pretty exciting. All right, so, wow. 4 sentences, I think? 4 or 5? 4, yeah. All right, so, check, checkity check. What's next, guys? The closing. Guess what? You've already written that. That's already a sentence. So now you're just gonna copy that down, okay? And this has gotta show your closing and your feeling. I am so glad I was able to be brave and not miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm just going to copy that. I am so glad I was able to be brave and not miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. There we go. Opening, closing, and all of your details in the middle. So we're slowly going to begin to work on interesting transitional words that help your story. I had suddenly up here. Yep. The day started. Interesting transitional words. Okay, happy writing, guys.